Well, good morning, everybody. It's Big Dave here at Mad Rock 102.5. Also got Alan Fremont from 97.5 KLAK and Zach Grantham from 93.1 Katy Country here. And we're here today to talk about the Sherman Community Players. They have their summer benefit dinner theater for 2022 coming up. Ken Ludwig's A Comedy of Tenors, directed by Aaron Adair, happening July 29th through the 31st. And then again, August 5th through the 7th. And as anybody who's watched any of these live streams we've done before about live community theater, I am a huge supporter of live community theater. I love that. I mean, we were talking a little bit off the air. If I had the time, if I didn't get up at 2 o'clock in the morning to do a morning show, I would do community theater plays and stuff. I just love it that much, and have always enjoyed doing that stuff since I was in since pretty much grade school, doing all the acting and stuff. But let's talk to somebody who actually knows what they're talking about. We're going to bring up the new managing artistic director for the Sherman Community Players, Darren Dunn. How are you?
Good morning.
So welcome to our live stream here today, talking about this upcoming show. Let me bring that back up on the screen here. You've got A Comedy of Tenors coming up as your summer benefit dinner theater for this season. So tell us a little bit about that show.
It's a farce. It's a door-slamming farce. It takes advantage of the real three tenors concerts that took place, with Placido Domingo and I can't remember who else. But back in the 90s, there was a big concert with the three famous tenors. Ken Ludwig has taken that real idea and created a farce that takes place around that sort of concert event. These three people have come together, and it's about to happen in 30 minutes. But in the meantime, everything goes wrong. There's all kinds of mix-ups and mistaken identities and situations, and a little bit of naughty this and that as a farce lends itself to. And it's a very, very funny show, all set in a beautiful Parisian hotel room.
So obviously it's a dinner theater production, right? It's a benefit show. So, yeah. So I mean, you get the benefits of being able to eat and laugh. Hopefully, not spitting your food out on the plate as you're doing it. But so tell people who are watching here, like, how can they get tickets for this? How do they choose?
Well, you just need to call us 893-8818. There are people sitting by the phones now. We're ready to answer your call, and we do have some sponsored tables still available, especially for the second weekend. Our first weekend is selling. Those tickets are selling like hotcakes this morning. The second weekend, we still have tables available and sponsored tables available. Again, that's 893-8818, or you can call 893-8525, and that'll get you to the box office as well.
So as the slide there shows, directed by Aaron Adair, so who we've had on here before and talked about different shows he's been doing.
Many times. He's so talented. We're very lucky to have him as our guest director for this show.
So who are your stars of this show?
Our board president, Ed Richardson, is in this show. Our board treasurer, Jennifer Becker, has a big role. One of our longtime veteran actors, Travis Lyons, plays one of the tenors. We have some younger people in the show, some of our younger actors. It's a big, funny cast.
So what about ticket prices? I know people who are watching are probably curious what the tickets cost.
Tickets, general admission for the benefit, $75 a piece.
Okay.
The sponsor tables, which buys you a table to seat 8 to 10 people, is $1,000.
Okay.
We've sold many already. You get signage, you get good representation on our media, and any of our signage is going to feature you at that point. Remember, it's a benefit. We want your money, and people are buying the tickets. I'm excited about it.
Now,
you'll call up people and say, "Hey, want to buy me a $1,000 sponsor table?" And they say yes. That tells me people are anxious to support this theater.
Yep. Yeah. And as we were talking before we went live here, that you are ending now your 73rd season.
73 consecutive seasons. There hasn't been a downtime. I think we're the third oldest community theater in the state. and to be in constant operation for 73 years is just remarkable. I brag about that every chance I get.
As you should. As you
Yes,
should. And so,
73 years.
the showtimes and stuff for this fundraiser, again, you can go to scptheater.com, and all
Yes.
the telephone numbers and all that stuff are listed on there, and all
Yes.
the showtimes and stuff like that. So now that we've talked about this particular one, and I encourage everybody to get your tickets. Again, it is a benefit dinner. Kind of talk about, why is it a benefit? Why is it important to spend $75 on a ticket to support the Sherman Community Players?
Well, the arts have always been an enormous part of Sherman, Texas. We've always had a big cultural presence in the state. And to help us maintain that, to help us manage our operating costs, we depend on civic-minded people and professional people who have the ability to target their sponsorships and their donations to an operation like ours. The arts does not exist without patronage, and we consistently find it in our area. As for buying a $75 ticket to enjoy a dinner theater with your friends in as elegant as seats you're going to get in Sherman, Texas, it's totally worth it.
Yep.
It's an unusual opportunity to get to experience that kind of theater, and you have the knowledge that you're supporting the cultural presence in your own city.
And it's a great date night opportunity.
It's
I'm
a
just
great
saying.
date night, and it's going to be hilarious. You're not going to be disappointed.
Now, you've got this dinner theater coming up, but you also have auditions coming up. You have children's theater coming up. We want to make sure to get that in there, talk about that. You have those auditions. Then your 74th season starts coming up in a few months as well, and you'll have auditions for that. So go ahead and share the first one. You said Matilda the musical, correct?
Matilda the musical, which is coming out on the big screen, I think, in December. There's a new film version of it with Emma Thompson. I'm glad that's happening in December. I get to be their warm-up.
Yeah.
What a fun, sweet show this is going to be. I can't wait for the auditions. Those are going to be August 8 and 9 in the Honey McGee Theater. Auditioners need to arrive prepared to sing for me. But I'm going to cast men, women, boys, girls, people of all ages. There are roles in this show for the right talented performers. And I'm very excited. I've got a big production team lined up. Wonderful musical director, great costumer. It's going to be a great show. I can't wait for those auditions. I worked with kids in our recent production of Sound of Music, and it's delightful to see kids come in ready to sing and perform. I'm excited to be the director of the theatrics program as well as the main stage. I get to produce both seasons. We're working with a new model for our general operations, and I'm in charge of the main stage season as well as the theatrics season. I sort of get to pick and choose which shows make sense for me to direct, and I've decided to direct both of our season openers. So as soon as Matilda is up and running, I'll be auditioning the season opener for main stage in the Finley Theater, which is the Rocky Horror Show.
Yeah, which is I'm really looking forward to seeing.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites.
Too. It's going to be so much fun, and what a huge challenge in many ways and for many reasons to be doing that particular show in this particular city. But the time is right. We're just going to do it, and we're going to expand our audience with that show.
Now, I'm sure with fans of Rocky Horror Picture Show, they probably are wondering, are you going to do an interactive version?
You know, our contract with the company that licensed the show for performances tells us that we do have the agency to determine which audience participation parts we want to include. So yes, there will be audience interaction. It's a cultural phenomenon as much as it is a Broadway musical. It is both, and it can be both. The film version brought in a lot of different elements that people are going to expect. We do have the opportunity to limit the participation, and we just have to hope that our audience will see what we've posted about it and honor that.
Behave. Behave, people.
Be nice.
Yeah.
But not too nice. This is
Yeah.
one of those shows you just need to check your bashfulness at the door and laugh.
Yeah.
You'd laugh at it at home. You can laugh at it with your Sunday school teacher sitting beside you, right?
Right. So what about the rest of the 74th season? Lots of other shows, right?
Yes. In December, we're doing a stage version of White Christmas.
Oh,
I know, right? Right. Talk about a
Ooh.
crowd pleaser. You can't go wrong with that one.
there
either.
you go.
So that's very exciting. Then in February, we're doing a drama called Permanent Collection. It's set in a museum that houses an impressive collection of Impressionist art that has been established and controlled through the will of the original creator of the museum. Nothing can be changed. It has to stay static. But he has left control of the museum to an African American university who puts an African American administrator in charge of the museum. That man finds a stash of amazing African art in the permanent collection, and he wants to include only 8 more pieces representing that, and all hell breaks loose.
Wow.
In the museum, in the town. The play is about representation. It's literally about percentages. I have to find the right cast for that. There's no colorblind casting. It's about what it's about.
Right.
I'm very excited to do that show.
Sounds powerful. I haven't heard of that before.
Yeah.
I look forward
It
to
has its own challenges, as you
Yeah.
can well imagine.
Right.
But then immediately after that, we'll be putting up a production of Noises Off, which, if you know that too is a big crowd pleaser.
Right. Awesome.
Another farce. That'll be our April comedy. And then for next summer's summer musical, we're doing the Full Monty.
That's going to be a great one. All right. I think, Alan, that's one you're going to try out for, right? You're
Yeah,
gonna go.
I'm kind of thinking. I was kind of thinking more towards White Christmas, man. I
Yes.
love that movie. Love that show.
Yeah, you got
The
super
play is a
excited
little
when you
bit
said
different. It's the same story, and much of the music is the same.
Yeah.
It shifts things around. It's a different way of telling a story on stage than on film. I think it will be very exciting. Are you a performer, Alan?
Well, just on the
he's
radio.
going to recruit. He's going to recruit you now.
You know what, though,
Yeah,
Dara? You know what? My wife
Nice.
may be interested in this. I mean, I'm telling you, she likes this kind of stuff. She loves it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
Awesome.
we're excited about all of the shows you have coming up. But again, we want to make sure people buy tickets or sponsors, organizations that may be out there watching that want to get one of those sponsor tables for that upcoming fundraiser you've got coming up here. Comedy of Tenors, directed by Aaron Adair, July 29th through the 31st and August 5th through the 7th. You can go to the website you see scrolling down there, scptheater.com. It's got all the information about how you can call the box office, how you can get those. If you want one of those sponsor tables, you can get that. $75 for individual tickets or $1,000 for a table. As you said already, Dara, that a lot of the first weekend, and that's typically the way it goes, though, the first weekends, tickets are going pretty well.
We had to add a
weekend's
sponsor
open.
table for our opening night. I mean,
Yeah, right.
it's happening. The community is really responding. We do need ticket sales for the second weekend especially.
Yeah.
And we look forward to taking those reservations.
Awesome. Please. So go right now, scptheater.com, and get those tickets. Call the box office and get yourself a good laugh, a good date night, and a laugh at the same time, and a good dinner to go with it. Well, Dara, again, thank you so much for joining. Anything we haven't covered? I think we covered everything you wanted to talk about, didn't we?
I don't think so, as long as people know the phone numbers and be ready to give me their money.
Yes, give the money. Awesome. Well, again, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you guys next time. Go online now, get those tickets, scptheater.com.